So this is section 5.3, and I'm just writing part 1 because this is the part, only this part, that you're responsible for the quiz coming up on Friday. So there will be a part 2 that'll be after the quiz on Monday. So this is the homework that I'm going to assign here. That'll be up to the quiz, that part. So so what are the important part of 5.3? So this is also, you can write it in your note card. First of all, this is a right angle triangle. A, B, and C. So the capital letter that denotes the angle, and the small letter opposite to angle A is side A, opposite to angle B is small b, that's the side B, opposite to angle C is small c, that's the side C. So that's the standard notation. And if I want to find the sine of this angle A, I'm going to write sine A equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So this is the O side because this is the opposite of this angle. This is the adjacent side, or A, and this is the hypotenuse side, H. So this will be a ratio of O and H, which is in this case will be A over C. Similarly, for cosine, it'll be adjacent over the hypotenuse, and that can be denoted in this case will be B over C. Tangent is similarly the ratio of these two, which is opposite over adjacent, which is in this case will be A over B. And similarly, if you flip these, then you get the rest of it. For example, cosecant will be just C over A. Secant, that will be C over B. And cotangent, that will be B over A. Now, the next important thing is making a table of known angles. And that table is given in the book. So you can copy that from the book. I'm just giving you an example that how this table looks like. This is the theta, and this is the sine theta, cosine theta, tan theta, and you can add more. You can add 3 more columns here, cosecant and secant and cotangent, but primarily we definitely need these 3. If you copy the whole table from the book, that's fine with me. But primarily I need these 3. Definitely you can write those here. So sine 30, that's 1/2. Sine 45, 1 over square root of 2. Now in the book, they rationalize the denominator here and writing square root of 2 over 2. I don't care. If you write 1 over square root of 2, that'll be just fine. Sine 60, that's square root of 3 divided by 2. And this is the opposite in cosine. So it starts with square root of 3 over 2, then 1 over square root of 2, and then 1/2. Similarly, tangent is the ratio of these two. So the first one is 1 over square root of 3, then 1, then square root of 3. And again, you can write the rest of it. Just if you flip all the sine values, you get cosecant. If you flip all the cosine values, you get the secant. If you flip all the tangent values, you get the cotangent. One more concept, and that's also part of the note card. Is a reference angle. And what is a reference angle? A reference angle is with respect to the x-axis. This is the x-axis, and it will always be with respect to this axis. So if in the first quadrant, this is the reference angle. So the first quadrant, this is the reference angle. For the second quadrant, this is the reference angle, the angle which is making with the x-axis. For the third quadrant, this is the reference angle. And for the fourth quadrant, this is the reference angle, theta. Now you also know, and that's important here, when I ask you to find the trigonometric value of a known angle, this quadrant, all are positive. For this quadrant, only sine is positive. This quadrant, tangent is positive. And the fourth quadrant, cosine is positive. So you also need this to write that in your note card to remind yourself when I'm trying to find a known value angle, this reference angle concept will come into play. And I'm going to give you an example soon how to find 6 trig functions of a reference angle. So that's pretty much what you need for the note card for 5.3 part 1. And this is not the end of 5.3. I'm going to discuss more. We need more formula, but for the quiz, this is the note card part and this is the note card part that you need. All right, so now we're going to try some of the problems from the book. So let's start with the exercise problems. Problem number 2. So there is a triangle, right angle triangle given to you. And this is the angle A. And we want to find the sine, cosine, and tangent of this angle A. What's the information given? This is 45. This is 28. And this is 53. So we have to find sine of A, cosine of A, and tangent of A. How do I do that? We're going to use our formula. So we have the note card and we have the formula with us. Sine A is over H. Cosine A over H, tan over A. So we are just writing that here. So over H here will be 45 divided by 53. Cosine A, that will be adjacent over H. That will be 28 over 53. And the tangent, that will be O over A. That will be 45 over 28. So that's what you need from this triangle. So this is one type of problem. I can give you a triangle and all the sides given to you. You have to just apply this formula right here. Let's move on to next set of problems. So for example, problem number 12. Problem number 12 in your book, it says that there is a right angle triangle ABC and the right angle at C. So this is the right angle right here. And I'm just denoting this A and this is B. And also the sides are given. For number 12, A is 3. So you know this is 3 then. And B is 4. So this is 4. Find all the 6 trig functions. So I can find this because this is small c and I know c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared because it's a right angle triangle. So that would be 3 squared plus 4 squared, which is 25. So c should be 5. So now I know c, that's 5. Now it's just a matter of writing the sine of angle B. So they're trying to figure out what's the sine of B, cosine of B, tangent of B. So this is the angle. Well, then what's our formula for sine B again? I'm referring to this one, opposite over hypotenuse. So what's the opposite of angle B? That's 4 divided by 5. Cosine B, what's the adjacent of B? This is 3 divided by 5. And of course, this is a ratio of these two. So that'll be opposite 4 over 3. And similarly, if you flip this, so cosecant B will be 5 over 4. Secant B will be 5 over 3. And cotangent B, that'll be 3 over 4. So this is another type of problem, number 12, where you have to figure out, the sides are given, you have to figure out which angle we are interested. If it's angle A, the answer will be different, by the way. Since it's angle B we are looking for, then we are calculating the opposite and the adjacent with respect to this angle B. Let's move on to the next set of problems here. Here, the next set of problems, you only need to concern about this table right here. So this table right here, table of known angles. For example, problem number 30. Cotangent 30, what would be the value of that? Cotangent 30, what would be the value of that? Now you have the whole table. I'm just writing 10 here, but you have the whole table here. So if you have the whole table given to you, then you know tan 30 is 1 over square root of 3. Cotangent, we can flip it, so that'll be square root of 3. Similarly, let's try another one. Maybe 36. It says secant 45 degrees. So what do I know about secant? Again, you have the whole table, but I have cosine written here. So cosine 45 is 1 over square root of 2. If I flip it, I get square root of 2. That would be the answer for that. So that's pretty easy. Now let's talk about the very last topic here, which is how to figure out reference angles and the 6 trig functions. Let's try one problem. Problem number 74. 315 degrees. I want to find all the 6 trig function values. All the 6 trig function values I want to find out of 315. Okay, so 315 means we start from always from this x, this point right here, and it's a positive angle, so we'll go anti-clockwise direction up to 315. So this is the theta. What would that be? Because in the fourth quadrant, whatever the angle it's making with the x-axis, that'll be the theta. So what would that be? That'll be 360 minus 315, which is a 45 degree. So 315 actually translates to 45 degree in quadrant 4. And what's positive in quadrant 4? Cosine. You know from your note card that you have written down this quadrant 4, cosine is positive, and this is the reference angle. So now I can find sine 45, cosine 45, tan 45 in the fourth quadrant. So what is the sine 45 in the fourth quadrant? It would be negative 1 over square root of 2. Why it's negative? Because only cosine is positive in quadrant 4. So cosine 45 will be just 1 over square root of 2, but tangent will be again negative because this is in the fourth quadrant. And similarly, you can find cosecant, which is negative square root of 2, secant, which is square root of 2, and cotangent, which is a negative 1. So that's the way you solve those problems. Let's try another one. Let's see which one. Maybe problem number 82. Problem number 82, 1500 degrees. Now that means that you have to take multiple rotations from here. 1 time, maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times. So if I subtract 4 times 360, then I will get 1500 minus 1440, which is 60 degrees. So after 4 rotation of 1440, we will be here. This is the 60 degrees right here. And so that's in quadrant 1, that will be the reference angle for this 1500. So now it's just a matter of finding sine 60. And what's happening in quadrant 1? Everything, all is positive. So sine 60, cosine 60, tan 60, and you have your note card, and you know, well, what is 60 degrees. So you can use this. This is right here. That's my this is the one that you need. So you are just writing that square root of 3 over 2, 1/2, square root of 3, and then you flip this and you get the other one. So cosecant 60 will be 2 over square root of 3. Secant 60, that'll be 2, and cotangent 60, that'll be 1 over square root of 3. Let's try another one. 84. Problem number 84. Minus 390 degrees. Okay, so what's happening here? It's a negative angle. So starting from the reference, we go in this direction 360. So that's a 360. But then we have 30 degrees more. And it's in this direction, clockwise direction, because it's negative 30. So negative 360 and then negative 30. So it's 30 degree in quadrant 4. So this implies to a 30 degree in quadrant 4. Meaning cosine is only positive. Cosine is only positive. That's what you know from your this picture right here. This is the 30 degrees. And cosine is only positive. And also you have a table for the note card, and then 30 only you have to be careful about, because here cosine is only positive, leads to a negative. So sine 30, that'll be negative 1/2. Cosine 30, that'll be square root of 3 over 2 because it's positive. Tangent of 30, that'll be a negative 1 over square root of 3. And then if you flip these, you get the rest of it. I'm not writing the rest of it, but you get the idea. Well, let's talk about the homework then. This is the part of the homework that you are responsible for, the quiz coming up on Friday. So this is the homework for before the quiz. I'm going to add more of 5.3 homework after the quiz. 1, 3, 11, 13, 15, 17, 29, 31, 33, 35, 73, 75, 81, 83, and 87. All right then.